As to be expected, Syracuse basketball takes care of business against Eastern Washington. They start 1-0, and Louisville comes to the Dome November 9th at 7 p.m. to face number 13 Syracuse football. I'm Sean. This is the Cuse Militia Podcast.
Is that an orange in your pants, or are you just happy Q's won? Make some noise, Orange fans. It's time for the Q's Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. Give us a like on Facebook at Q's Militia Podcast and follow on Twitter at Q's Militia. The right of the people to keep and wear orange shall not be infringed.
All right, what's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. Hit that subscribe button, if you will. We appreciate it. All right, Syracuse basketball has started. And yay, they're 1-0. Okay, we didn't know that was coming. We'll give you the good and the bad of that game. We've also got the preview for Morehead State coming to the Dome on the 11th at 7 o'clock. And, of course, the day before that, number 13th ranked Syracuse will host Louisville in the Dome. And that'll be a Friday night game at 7 o'clock, and we'll give you that. But first, as always, we got to hear from the folks over at MyBookie. If you're looking for a betting website that has great online reviews, that has an easy-to-use mobile site, MyBookie is the way to go. I would only recommend a service to my listeners that's been good to me. That's why I'm urging you to make your way to MyBookie. You win, they pay, they have in-game live betting, over-unders on fantasy points scored, and the most rewarding player perks in the business. They are currently slammed with new bettors, and if you want to deposit after 7 p.m., they're willing to give you an extra $25 on deposits over $100 if you use promo code CUES25. You guys know the deal. If you don't want to wait till after 7 o'clock during the weekdays to use that promo code, you can always just get your deposit matched dollar for dollar without the extra $25 if you use promo code CUES. So, MyBookie, head there now, MyBookie, and don't forget to use those promo codes. You play, you win, you get paid. All right, so.
Yeah.
Before we get into anything, Tony got his Cuse crate. Tony, I sent your Cuse crate out this afternoon, buddy. Thanks for the review. Make sure we get those reviews in. And I'm running out of koozies. But here's the deal. I'm getting more. And in between then, look, what I'm going to do is I've got that extra book, Jim Boeheim and Syracuse Basketball by Donald Staffo. It's not signed, but I've got an extra copy, and maybe we're going to do something with that. And
no, I thought you were giving that to me.
Oh, did I say that? Did I tell you that? If I told you that, I'll get you one for Christmas.
Not on the air, but you know.
Okay. So we'll figure something out with that. So Tony, you got your Cuse crate coming. Thanks for reviews. Keep them coming, please, at iTunes. Syracuse football climbed to 13th in the college playoff rankings. So
huge time.
That's pretty exciting. And I have decided to go to the Louisville game, so I will be there Friday night. I'm pretty excited about it. Got my tickets, and I asked around to buddies and everything, and I couldn't get 3 in a row, so I had to buy some straight out from Dome Tix at Ticketmaster, and they like to charge you like $12 a ticket for your processing fees, which is insane, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. Don't lay an egg.
Yeah, well, I can't now, bro. It's planned. I'm going. I got a house sitter and everything. So
now I can say it.
Yeah, now you can say it. That's true. All right. So, real quick though, senior defensive back Tyrone Perkins. Remember, he got injured when he mentioned this. I thought he's still in the hospital in Winston-Salem, by the way. But he got big shout out to Wake Forest coach Dave Clawson. Went and visited him in the hospital. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a class act, man.
That's a class act right there, and he deserves a shout out for that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Syracuse start basketball 1-0, bringing Boeheim's home opener record to 39-4. These are my views on the game here. I'm just going to go over them real quick. And I would first say to Cuse fans, enjoy Brissett because he is going to be entered into the NBA draft after this year. He's going to be good enough. There's no doubt about it. We knew that last year. We've mentioned it, but it's going to be etched in stone this year. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. I thought the offense was a bit stagnant to start. Buddy Boeheim, he did great in exhibition games. Maybe had a little bit of nerves going on for the home opener in the regular season. He was 1 for 11, and in his debut with 3 points. Tyus Battle was only 3 for 10 for 8 points. I thought Jalen Carey looked great, especially on defense. 6 rebounds, 1 steal. I like the way Chukwu and Sidibe moved. I think that position is where we've struggled lately, and I like seeing 2 healthy centers in there with Chukwu with a little bit more meat on his bones. I think he threw his weight around a little bit more aggressively than what we've seen in the past, for sure.
Right.
Dolarzai, he did his thing, man, hitting all 3 shots that he put up for 7 points. One thing I know will get fixed that was kind of awful is 15 for 28 on the free throws. Got to clean that up. 38.7 from the floor was not really impressive to me. I'm not really that concerned about it. I kind of call that early season Syracuse basketball. And Joe, what do you think? What are your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, I think that they started out a little stagnant. Dome was a little empty first game. Everyone's going to have a little bit jitters. I mean, even Tyus Battle, he only shot 3 for 10. So, I mean, there's not going to be too many games where Elijah Hughes and Tyus Battle combined only go like 5 for 18. Buddy Boeheim 1 for 11. That's just not going to happen. But everything that you just mentioned about kind of, and even Coach Boeheim talked about how he wasn't really impressed with the offense. We still didn't put up a big number, but with the defense and with the way that we played, still ended up winning by 32 points. So, again, there's going to be things that are fixed. It should have been more just based upon free throws. We won the turnover battle. And, I mean, when we get to the line that early, especially in the second half when we were in the bonus like so early, like you just got to be able to take advantage of that kind of stuff. But, again, it's the first game. And obviously, Tyus Battle's not going to be the starting point guard every year or every game. And it's kind of a weird lineup, and you're still trying to get a feel for the people out there. Shea Brissett is absolutely men amongst boys, and I think everyone else is going to start falling in line. And again, Jalen Carey, to me, again, like you said, he impressed me. He was moving. He was all over the place. He got a couple steals and 6 rebounds. You could tell that as a guard, which is something that Jim Boeheim likes to talk about, especially when we start getting out rebounded and how we give up a lot of offensive rebounds in the zone. To have a guard that's so makes such a point to go in and get the rebounds and stuff is kind of big. So Jalen Carey, he's earning his minutes, and we're going to see a lot of him this year. So I was overall happy with what I saw, understanding the situation and the fact that our offense didn't have to be that good to win this game. Holding the team 34 points. I don't even know how many they had. What a half, like what?
10.
Yeah, so
10.
Never going to be upset about that. Frank Howard's not even playing yet, and this is the first time that Jalen Carey's played in a game since that scrimmage. So
yeah, and
Howard Washington played, and he's coming back from that injury. So still a lot of new pieces, some working parts, trying to get people healthy. So, I mean, I wouldn't look too much into it. Again, I'm not worried. I think the main number to look at is the 10 points that we held them to in the first half. And, with all that offensive deficiencies, this game still winning by 32 points could have been a lot worse. So,
yeah, I will note on what you're saying. The 34 points that were scored by Eastern Washington are the fewest recorded in the Carrier Dome by an Orange opponent. So
yeah,
that's pretty. I mean, he just made history there. They shot 22%. Eastern Washington. It was just awful. And Syracuse scored. You mentioned the turnovers. They scored 33 points off of their 19 turnovers, and I think they scored 8 points off of 10 of ours. 10 still too many for me against a team like that, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, can't get it twisted. This team is still going to be predicated on defense. That's what got us to the Sweet 16 last year. We have all those guys back. We have more depth. So we're going to be able to press a little bit more, which, we're going to force teams to take more time to get the ball over the floor, which then in turn they have less time to move the ball around for our 2-3 zone, and it's just going to help overall with numbers. So that's really where I'm looking at. The offense, that's going to get better when you have new pieces and you have more shots to go around. People are playing less minutes and stuff like that. That's something that's got to be worked out just over repetition and playing with each other. But I'm more or less looking at the defense right now and how, it's still going to be a team predicated on defensive end, and it's not really going to matter who scores. You're still going to have to play defense. So
right, I think, yeah. Defense is going to get us. Is going to be. That's the focus point. That's the Jim Boeheim staple is the defense.
Right.
But with this,
last year, we didn't have the depth. Go ahead.
We didn't have the depth, but also comparing this year to last year, I feel like my expectations on being able to put up points is higher.
Yes.
I feel like this team should be putting up more than 66 points against the Eastern Washington team.
Right.
You look look around the league real quick. You've got Duke put up 118
on Kentucky. Right.
I know.
I don't get it twisted. They're not going to be able to put
Gonzaga
up 118
put up
on
120.
us,
I know. We're defense aside, because we know that's not going to happen with our defense.
Right.
But Gonzaga put up 120. In North Carolina, they put up 78. That was a close game with Wolford. So
yeah,
they scored 67 on. Villanova put up 100. Auburn put up 101. These are all ranked teams. Oregon 84 to our 66. It was like the worst besides Michigan, which was 63. But they played Norfolk State. Come on, Michigan.
Yeah.
Norfolk State.
I get it, but you have to look at the fact it was just overall, it's a new thing. You know what I mean? It's just
I know, and it's always like that, isn't it, Joe? Isn't it? Doesn't it just?
It's always like that, especially with Syracuse. Like I said, a lot of it is the defense and the fact that if you got teams that run up and down, then that's one thing. Eastern Washington's sitting there passing around trying to find a shot to the end of the shot clock.
Right.
So there's less possessions. Then you throw in the fact that there's 13 missed free throws.
Right.
And then we go 3 of 17 from 3. That's not going to happen every game. 38.7% from the field. That's not going to happen every game.
They're better than that.
If we end up hitting the averages of what we're eventually going to be able to do, then you're looking at a team that just scored probably mid to high 80s. So, if that game was 88-34, then that'd look a lot better, right?
Right,
so,
absolutely. We wouldn't even be talking about it. But 66.
And a lot of things is the flow of the game. Kentucky and Duke. Did you watch that? That was up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it was a lot of.
It was
fast paced.
Right.
We Syracuse is their nature of their defense and their play in general is it slows the game down. It gives them an edge when their offense.
And again, we pressed the whole game.
Yeah,
we didn't have the depth last year.
What'd you think about that? I enjoy watching the press.
Well, that's what I mean about the depth is so even if you're not playing it aggressively, but you're just making somebody pass the ball inefficiently, get the ball up the court without mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, not even so. It's going to open up the thing for turnovers, but again, you're taking 8 to 10 seconds off the shot clock before they even get down and get set.
True.
Now you have your 2-3 zone set, and now you have to figure out, pass it around. And how many times when people just get down there real quick, they have the full shot clock. Now take away 8 seconds from that, and that makes a difference.
Yeah, now you're pressed to get up a decent shot. So
right, and that's something we can do. How many times last year did we press and you see us go on a run, and we're like, oh, well, how come we didn't do that more? Well, it's effective, it's efficient, but with our depth, we can't run those players, ragged like that. This year we have the depth to do that.
Right.
I'm talking about last year.
Right. Yeah.
This year we have the depth to do that.
Absolutely. Because it takes a little bit more energy, obviously. So
that's it. Yeah. It takes a lot more energy. But again, when you can sub guys out and sub them in and out like hockey lines like last night, then
that was awesome, wasn't it?
Right. So when you have that option, that just makes it that much better for your defense. It takes a lot more. It takes a little bit of time off of the shot clock, and it's just going to help us be more efficient on defense. So that's really what I'm looking for. Our defense is going to kind of ride this wave early on while Tyus Battle's starting at point guard. Frank Howard's getting healthy, and all these other guys are trying to figure it out.
Right, and there's no update on Frank Howard, by the way. So just look for him to maybe be out even during Morehead State, and just let him recover. I guess probably playing that one safe.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
See, I mean, he doesn't got another year, so.
Right, exactly. And by the way, just for this stat view of it, we Syracuse outscored Eastern Washington 38-12 in the paint, which I know it's just Eastern Washington, but
that's expected. I think their tallest guy was 6'8", 6'9".
No, I know, but all right. Any final thoughts on the basketball game?
No, I think you just gotta, like I said,
put it in perspective. It's the first game.
Put it in perspective and look at this first game.
Yeah,
look at the defense.
Scoring,
Buddy
sure.
Boeheim's not going to shoot 1 for 11. Those guys aren't going to shoot like that. You just want to get the win and just kind of take the positives for what it are. And you saw that we have a dominant defense that's going to help us out. Like I said, Duke looked good. They're not going to score 118 against our 2-3, especially with a bunch of freshmen that never seen it before. So,
right, and it could be that's a whole nother ball game. It's
not saying we're going to beat them.
No,
they were impressive. I'm just saying.
Did they exceed the hype, Duke?
For the first game, considering who they played against, yeah. But again, that's the most. I mean, when you look at it, especially with Duke's recruiting class this year, and then with usually what Kentucky has, I mean, you just got a bunch of young guys out there playing the first game of the season, just going up and down.
Yeah, it's like an NBA game.
Yeah. So Duke's they're gonna have their little issues, and so are Kentucky, and
right.
They'll be fun. They'll be fine.
All right. Well, we'll end Syracuse basketball against Eastern Washington with the poll I put out, which was any early concerns for Syracuse basketball. I think we addressed them all, and I think Joe, you and I agree. I think we agree that some of it was really bad. Shooting percentage, the free throws, and some of the offense in general was just not up to par. But I believe it's going to get fixed. First game.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to take a game by game, dude. And at the end of the day, we won by 32. We didn't need to shoot a good percentage to beat that team.
True.
W's a W.
Yeah, exactly.
On to the next one.
Any early concerns for Syracuse basketball? With 11% out of 179 votes, 11% chose free throws. Next up was 24% at Where's Tyus. 25% were concerned with 38.7 from the floor, and 40% sided with us. No, they'll get it fixed. So, yeah.
It's about right.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think that's fair. And, we're kind of, as Syracuse fans, I feel like we're really used to kind of being a little frustrated and not watching everything fall on offense.
Like we said.
Sure. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and give some stuff away. If you listen on iTunes, okay? I'll get it out eventually. If you listen on iTunes, you can go there, you can give us a 5-star rating, and if you give us a written review and I read it on the air, then that means you get a Cuse crate sent to your house, okay? Get some goodies in there, a couple koozies and whatnot. But anyway, that's all you got to do. It's simple. It takes you 5 seconds, and I know how many of you listen on iTunes because I get the data. So get after it.
Too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy. So this one from LSG Ethan. 5 stars. Go Cuse. This is the best Cuse sports podcast I've ever listened to. Sean and Joe are legit. Did you know that, Joe? You're legit?
What?
I don't know about that. But see how easy that is? Nice and simple. I like it. We get a lot of really good ones, and I see some of them still in there that I haven't talked about yet, but don't worry. I will call your number. No worries. So, all right, well, let's do the Morehead State game. Joe, are you prepared for that?
Yeah, a little bit more prepared.
All right. Well, the Morehead State Eagles preview is brought to you by J.P. Mulligan's 202 West Genesee Street in Fayetteville. Trivia Tuesdays, okay? And they've got the Monday through Friday happy hours 4 to 6. Of course, you can get the wings, and of course, during basketball and football games, you go there, stool up, okay? Grab some wings, grab some beers, hang out with good people. Lots of Syracuse fans in there.
Yep.
And you can enjoy yourself during the game. Take a Lyft there, take an Uber there. What the hell? That stuff's cheap, by the way. So, all right,
cheaper
Joe.
than a DWI.
That's for damn sure. Morehead State Eagles. So some more Eagles coming to the Dome, November 11th at 7 p.m. Joe, who are they? Who are the Morehead Eagles, Morehead State Eagles? And will the Orange make shots against them? Yeah.
I think you're going to see a turnaround. Morehead State, they're out of the Ohio Valley Conference. They have a second-year coach. Last year was pretty rough for them. They finished 8-21 and 4-14 in Ohio Valley Conference play. They didn't even qualify for the Ohio Valley Conference tournament, so they didn't even really get a shot to even try to get in. So this is one of the more bottom of the barrel type teams that we're probably going to see this year. And they returned 6 starters though. He's trying to get his guys again, like we talked about the coach for Eastern Washington, trying to get his guys, trying to restart a program, trying to kind of make a name for himself. But I don't see it, man. It's just one of those things, they're all from the Ohio Valley, but I just read off their schedule from last year, and it's just like, I just don't know if, 8-21 is rough, dude. And Ohio Valley Conference really isn't a great conference. So, again, it's not even – they just won the first game, I think it was against the Kentucky Christian. I think they won like 102-82. But, again, that's not even a D1 team. So it's just kind of one of those – it counts, but a warm-up game. Usually like, a D1 AA school in football playing against us. But, we really don't have too much to worry about. So far, I looked at on KenPom, and they have them ranked 206. They have them ranked farther than what Eastern Washington was. So, again, I think this is going to be a tune-up game to kind of tune stuff up. I'd look for them to definitely shoot a little bit more efficient, and they're probably what they're going to be working on. So, I'd look for a more similar game, especially defensively. But offensively, I'd definitely, if I had to put money on it, I'd say it's going to be more efficient. We'll probably beat this team more or worse than we did Eastern Washington.
Okay.
That's all I got.
It should
it's
be
only
fun.
one game in,
Yeah, I know. It's tough. And it's like, what are you going to really talk about? There's nothing to really compare
Well, speaking of that, are you going to the Morehead State game? Are you going to try to swing that?
It's up to my mom, man. I got to hang out with my mom. And if she wants to hang out at the game, then that's what we'll do.
No, don't lay an egg, Sean.
I did not say I was going to be there. I would love nothing more. And my son, my oldest, he is like, I've got to have him work his mom over on that. So, and maybe
right.
I can have him work his grandma over on that. So, I'm relying on Dylan to get this done for us, so we can do the double. And
I don't know, man. He's pretty persuasive. I think he can handle it.
I know. He probably can. We'll have to see. If I can get my mom out of the house to watch a Syracuse game instead of going to, like, who knows, the caboose in the village of East Syracuse.
Right.
Then I've done something. So.
Yeah. Hey, everyone should be able to every once in a while enjoy that. It's probably been ages since she's been there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well,
if you're hearing Grandma, go.
Yeah, right. She listens. She was our first listener. So, Joe, it is time. I feel like whenever we do this, it feels like it's been forever, but it's actually only been a week. So it's time for Joe's My Bookie pick, and of course, Joe's My Bookie pick is brought to us by My Bookie, and you know the deal. If you want to deposit after 7 p.m., use promo code CUSE25. They will add $25 to any deposit over $100. And if you don't want to do that, you can deposit anytime before then using promo code CUSE, and they'll match you dollar for dollar up to $1,000. Joe, the Syracuse Orange are 7-2. Bro, you're 7-2 in your My Bookie picks. And
no.
I have the line. Yes, you are, right?
No. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
joking.
Oh, jeez, you scared me. I thought I was wrong. I do have the line, and they're giving Louisville 21.5. So, Joe, is Syracuse going to be able to clear 21.5, or what? What are you gonna do here? That's a large spread.
Oh yeah, that's a real large spread, Sean. And with all these other teams, especially Pittsburgh, North Carolina, some of these bottom feeder type teams that have been out there. Actually, Pittsburgh's actually went on a run since they beat us, but Louisville is just not the team that they've been with Lamar Jackson. You can definitely tell. And honestly, if this was any other game, then, if this is the fourth home game, or, the North Carolina, something like that. I don't even think they were favored that much against North Carolina.
But
right now,
they were favored against North Carolina?
Syracuse?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about Syracuse.
Yeah. No, Syracuse, it was like 10 or 11 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was something like that, yeah. So they Louisville right now, actually, after last week, after they played against Clemson and we played against Wake Forest, they actually swapped with Wake Forest. This is 2 straight weeks in a row that we're going to be playing against the worst defense in the ACC. And
we'll go over that too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we will. But my biggest thing is that it's Dungy's last home game. And they've been embarrassed by Louisville the past 2 years especially. And I think that this is going to be way more than – I think this is going to be a statement game to the country, to the fans, to everybody. They saw the college football ranking, and I really think that they're going out there with the mindset of just blowing this team out and sending the seniors off the way they're supposed to and showing the rest of the country why they're ranked 13th. And so that's why I'm taking Syracuse.
You're picking Syracuse to clear 21.5.
I am.
Holy cow. Okay. So
I am.
All right. Hey, dude, I'm not arguing with you, bro.
Like I said, it's Dungy's last home game.
I know.
That dome is going to be rocking. It's going to be loud.
Yes. In the last I checked, gang, there was plenty of tickets left, and I'm not telling everybody to go out and you got to go get tickets. I'm just saying, if you're not doing anything on Friday night, you can take a Lyft there. They have a deal there with the if you use Lyft and there's a promo code, I should have it handy, and I might actually be able to do it. I think you get some money off of your
there's a bunch of packages out there. I saw a couple different things where they're selling $20 tickets.
I think that
there's going to be probably a late walk-up type.
I'm sorry, Joe, because I just got
No, go ahead.
If you new users can also use the code GOQs to earn up to $5 in ride credit for the first 4 rides. So you could actually go to both games this weekend, there and back, and get $5 off each ride. That's big time.
Oh yeah.
That's big time because it's not even that expensive to begin with. So.
Oh, and it's not even that. Yeah, if you live in a place like Eastwood or something, that's easy money.
Yeah, sure. So, all right. Well, look, this is how it looks on paper. The Orange will face Louisville. They are 2-7 and 0-6 in the ACC, man. 7 o'clock on Friday, November 9th. The game will be on ESPN2. It's at the Carrier Dome, obviously. Look, Louisville just got absolutely slaughtered by number 2 Clemson this past weekend, 77-16, and that is just pitiful. So I think Clemson had 12 rushers altogether in that game for 492 yards.
Right.
And they averaged 13.3 yards a carry, and they totaled 5 touchdowns on the ground. So this is how it looks on paper. The Syracuse 15th ranked offense versus the Louisville 115th ranked defense. Syracuse's 15th ranked offense is putting up 478 yards a game to Louisville's defense allowing 462. Now, I know we did this last week, and they actually covered pretty good last week. Wake Forest did, and but I think Louisville is the worst team. I think that they're actually, their defense is actually on paper is better, but I don't know, man. They just got shredded last week, and Syracuse defense, they ranked 98th. So but here's the difference. This week they're playing the 112th ranked offense in Louisville, and their offense stinks.
Right, and let's not it doesn't really matter. Your defense can be ranked, again, like we talk about all the time. Your defense can be ranked bad if it's based upon yardage, right?
Sure, yeah,
exactly, right. But then when you put into effect their third down defense,
it's the worst in the nation,
and
their third down conversion percentage, they allow 50.8%. It's the worst in the nation.
No, I'm talking about Syracuse.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, theirs is one of the best. They're fourth.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You said Syracuse's defense is 98th, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So it's based upon yardage.
Sure.
But when you look at our third down defense and you look at our turnover ratio, then it tells you a different story. That's a story that not just yards allowed is going to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's the whole bend and break mentality that we talk about in the timely defense, and that's what we've done all season.
And at the end of games too, when we've needed it.
The interception at the end of the Wake Forest game.
Yeah,
that still would have kept him in it. So at the end of the day, I mean, those are kind of skewed numbers, and honestly, being 7-2 with a 98, that kind of tells you the story. Now, Wake Forest was still a team was still kind of a little bit of a high end from the week before, and they still had a chance to make a bowl. They still have something to play for. Right now, Louisville, they can't make a bowl even if they went out. This is probably going to be a team that's going to be disheartened, especially after this loss. Who knows what kind of injuries they had. And I mean, you're looking at a team even when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at like their rushing leader is 50 carries for 263 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, they only average 110, 112 yards a game. I mean, their leading rusher only has 263 yards. They're 9 games in.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Their quarterback has 10 interceptions to 7 touchdowns. Now, their leading receiver is 29 catches, 436 yards, and a touchdown. So, Jalen Smith is definitely a good player. And I remember last year with Lamar Jackson, he was a good player. So they still have some guys, but I don't think they have the guys. I don't think they have the offensive line. I don't think they have. I mean, it's with the way with. Oh man, I'm so jealous of you. The fact that you're going to be there, and
I wish you were going to be there with me, buddy.
And that's what just upsets me about the fact that even if there's going to be an empty seat, like anybody, I mean, I would die to live an hour away from that place and be able to go to that game, and I can't. So.
Joe's out of vacation time, folks. He was trying to noodle it out.
Look, I don't want to talk about it. Okay. So my whole thing is that I just think it's going to be a special night. I think for most, people as far as like me and my age, maybe your age group, for our adult life, this is the best season that we've seen in Syracuse football, and the ride's not over. And I would just love to be able to be a part of that and to be able to be there and be 6-0 and stay there the whole night and just watch them just trounce Louisville and be able to call out the seniors, Eric Dungy, Chris Slayton, watch them do their last lap as seniors and be able to just start a new tradition.
The senior walk, as Babers is calling it. The senior walk.
Right, but you see these big schools that actually have a football school, and they're expected to win. There's some type of expectation. The fans and everything, like they always have a tradition. You always see something at the end of the game when they're doing this. They're singing the alma mater. They always have something. Yeah, and it's time to start that. It's time to start that.
Yeah, he wants
this
to
Friday,
start it,
man.
This Friday. And the players are going to.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pumped.
You're pumped. I can tell. The players are going to go to the locker room, come back out. They're going to walk around the field one last time at the Carrier Dome, and it's going to be special. And I
want an Eric Dungy chant.
Yeah, well, you might get one. I'm going to stay for it. I'm going to stay for it because my son's a big Eric Dungy fan, and he's really started to get into football, and it's been Eric Dungy's years. He's only 11, so for him to sit there and watch, he knows Eric Dungy, and then that's about it.
That's pretty much Marvin Graves for us.
Exactly. So he's excited, and it's gonna be spectacular. Like I said, Louisville sucks. They stink. I don't think there's a chance in hell they even give us a game. I think it's going to be fired up. And I don't usually say that because I don't want to be wrong. But I just don't see it being that close. No. I don't know
the way that we've been playing at home and the atmosphere that's going to be.
It's going to be nasty.
Dude, I just don't. Like I said, that's why I'm taking the 21.5. I would never take that.
I know, that's crazy.
But
I was wondering.
And like I said, and like what Babers has been talking about all week at his press conference. I don't know if we talked about it before, but he got asked about, how do you keep the players on, focus with Louisville and not looking ahead in Notre Dame. And he said that was easy. He said he went in the locker room and asked how many people have beaten Louisville since they've been there. They haven't. Nobody has.
Nobody.
They've been posting the box scores, the scores from the last 2 years, the way we've been embarrassed. I know everybody got.
One time we got hurdled
That's what I was going to say. How many times did you see that on ESPN where Lamar Jackson goes and hurdles Cordell Hudson?
It's a GIF. It's a GIF.
Yep. Damn sure it is. So, I mean, I'm just saying I mean, that's motivation right there, and to do it in front of your home crowd. It's a big recruiting weekend. So, I mean, this is big all around for the fans, for the recruits, for the program overall, for football. And, God, I just wish that there was. I hope it gets sold out. I pray it gets sold out, man.
I hope it does too, and I'll be there.
Because you have so many people like me around the country that would love to be in your position, or anybody who lives in Syracuse's position.
So you're gonna have to work social media for me if I'm gonna be there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to work social media. Are you gonna be able to handle that? That means you have to do more than just retweet stuff. Are you gonna be able to handle that?
Good night.
I tell Joe work social media. He takes the easy way out. He just goes through and retweets stuff.
Look, I'm trying to give other people props, okay?
It's like,
there's important stuff out there. So
no, there is. You retweet some
great.
good
You're
stuff.
gonna make me have to take a Twitter 101 class before this game.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, because
there's got to be a YouTube video on there, right?
There's got to be because I'll tell you what, I was horrible, and I get a little bit of help. So, I like to do the video stuff because it's just easier. I just throw a couple of things out here and there. But yeah, say brilliant stuff, Joe. That's what you got to do. Say brilliant stuff. No pressure. All right, so that's it. I'd like to thank everybody that participated in the poll. Of course, JP Mulligan's, of course. My bookie. One thing real quick. James Hudson. Did you hear about this before I quit, Joe?
No.
6'5", I think he's like 310 pounds, offensive tackle, James Hudson. He's a redshirt freshman.
Transfer.
Yeah. Yep. He's going to be visiting. He's from Michigan. Redshirt freshman. He's looking to transfer, and he'll be visiting Syracuse this weekend.
Yes.
So
like I said, big recruiting weekend.
Yeah, 4-star redshirt freshman. So
get out there.
We're gonna make some noise. Everybody get out there. Again, thanks JP Mulligan's. Everybody took the poll. My bookie, James on guitar, Tony for your review, and whoever else was Ethan. Whoever else put that review in today. Thank you. So that's it, man. For Joe,
yeah, dude.
I'm Sean. We're gonna try to get back Sunday.
Get out there. Get out there and go to the damn game. It's the last football game of the season. We're not going to ask you for a whole another year.
Right, exactly. That's true. What Joe just said is true. For Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.
Peace.
This has been the Q's Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. Be heard. Contact us on Facebook at Q's Militia Podcast and tweet at us using hashtag Q's Militia.